We've built this very simple SketchUp model of a path and a garden bed enclosed by a wall on the right in order to test new models that we can drag into our design. So every time we create a small SketchUp model of a plant, we really think it's important to render a scene such as this to test the performance of the new model of a plant species that we've been able to obtain. Sometimes we buy them, and other times we create them, sometimes download from the SketchUp model store. So here's this little test bed. You may be interested to know that there is a hobby version of Twilight Render, and if you install that into your copy of SketchUp, you'll have a new toolbar, and gives us great flexibility in rendering, and it does it a little more quickly than gCADPlus, which is the one we are using, and clearly the hobby version is encouraging us to purchase the full version, but we're interested in using it to just see how our new symbols perform. So you can see how easy it is to set the characteristics or the performance of this new renderer. We used to use this one over here, which is gCADPlus, and it's in, as with the hobby version, both of these are free. So I'm going to render of some simple presets. The size of the render is going to be, let me change that to say 1200 wide, which would be perhaps the widest render that we're ever likely to do. That should have automatically changed the size, but I think if we push this one to 800, I think you'll find that the width also changes away from 1200. No, it doesn't, so I'm happy that we can work together with those, locking them if necessary. And now we can start the render process. So in my case before, I had to swing to gCADPlus, couldn't quite get that working in the SketchUp environment. So we're now going to render, and it will go ahead and render. We'll be able to judge how long rendering takes, or measure how long it takes. And if we always operate pretty much in this way, we'll get a good idea of the rendering of the scene and how those new plant symbols perform. So you can see the rendering is taking place. I can change the height, so you can see there's a view of the developing render, and you get some information down here that we're doing some ray tracing. You can see at the top level here how some light is being cast on there, but that's not actually light, that's just improving the render. I set the time of the day near midday, so the sunshine's coming pretty well directly down on the site. So we're now anti-aliasing, and that's a technique for smoothing out each individual part of the render. And you can see it's happening relatively quickly while I've been talking, and my subjective view is that it's working a lot more rapidly than the gCADPlus, and it's certainly a lot easier to manipulate because you can set the parameters of the rendering process quite easily. And it's done it, in 1 minute and 17 seconds, which is certainly quicker than I was able to get with gCADPlus. So we can now save that, and I'll post it on the website just to accompany this little video.